Good evening, Ms. Karuna Gopal. A truly amazing, electrifying chance to introduce you, ma'am. President, Foundation of Futuristic Cities, member of Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyor, UK, International Visitor Leadership Program Fellow, USA. She is an internationally acclaimed thought leader, keynote speaker, and a futurist. She is the founder, president of Foundation of Futuristic Cities, 2005, a think tank that has influenced urban transformation in India for 1.5 decades. Her astounding work at intersection of technology, innovation, and futuristic cities are marvelous. Governments of several countries had invited her for inputs on smart governance. She has given close to 100 keynote addresses worldwide so far and has been invited to address Harvard Asia Business Conference 2020 at Harvard University, USA. She also addressed several programs meant for senior IAS officers at India's premier academies. She has delivered her lectures for elected representatives like members of legislature and mayors. Take it away. Floor is all yours, ma'am.
Thank you very much for inviting me this evening. I congratulate the leadership and the team of Utsahin on your anniversary. It was such an enlightening experience to look at your vision. The vision that you have articulated for yourself is to awaken the hearts and educate the minds of youth of India. This completely resonates with the vision of the Prime Minister, who repeatedly talks about what we call as the demographic dividend. In practically every speech of the Honorable Prime Minister, he talks about the demographic dividend. But friends, we must be aware today that there is nothing like a demographic dividend today in India. What we have right now is a demographic promise. There is a great potential. There is the youth of the country. There is enormous potential. There is promise. But to translate that potential and promise into performance, which will in turn lead to demographic dividend, we need people like you, like the Utsahin. I was really fascinated looking at the spectrum of talks that you have organized. One end of the spectrum has completely esoteric topics like spirituality, heartfulness, love, and compassion. On the other end of the spectrum, you have futuristic, practical, and pragmatic topics like innovation and disruptive technologies. This is perhaps the reason why you become extremely relevant for this country at this point in time when we have to really usher a new India. Now, there's a request from my side. In your future conversations, in your lectures, kindly incorporate two concepts and two words that I'd like to explain today. The first one is repurpose. Have somebody talk about this concept, which is so phenomenal. It is called repurpose. Do you remember those days when we were really struggling with the COVID pandemic, the first wave? The medical fraternity was completely confused. They had no medicine to treat patients who were dying. So at that time, they came out with this concept called repurpose, the medicine. So they took medication meant for tuberculosis, medication meant for epilepsy, repurposed the drugs and started curing COVID. Interestingly, institutions started repurposing themselves. Give one example, IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi is an educational institution. You have professors indulging in high octane discussions in the classrooms. But what happened at IIT? All of them came together and started working on PPE kits. They actually started looking at manufacturing, looking at the breathability of the material, repurposed themselves and came out with not only PPE kits, but the test kits as well. It's not only just repurposing of institutions. There was repurposing of people as well. Just to give one example, I was invited to address the deans and directors of IITs and NITs during that very bad period of COVID. And I had thoroughly researched why we were losing patients at that time. So I gave this idea that what the doctors need is not a ventilator, is just not a respirator, but a hybrid machine, which is in between this. And that is the presentation of the patient in India, and that is going to cure. So it was just a thought, we call ourselves thought leaders. So we think about issues and present it. But little did I know that doctors took it up, seriously. They repurposed themselves. Doctors who typically are present in ICUs, in wards, came out, took the concept, became manufacturers and entrepreneurs, actually came out with a machine, a hybrid machine that started saving lakhs of lives in India. Look at the value of repurpose. I wish that you would include this concept in your future talks so that the youth of India understand that they cannot be pigeonholed. They cannot be put into one particular place and expect to be there. They have to repurpose themselves. Now, the second word or the concept that you have to introduce in your future talks is revisit. Revisit. Well, let me explain with one example. 21 years ago, I was invited to address the leadership of a very big pharmaceutical company in India, perhaps one of the largest in the country. And it was in Chennai. So I gave the speech. After my keynote, I looked at, there's this young lady sitting to my right. I asked her a question. I said, what do you do in the company? She said, ma'am, I mix chemicals. I asked her, what is your role in the company? She said, I mix chemicals. And just look at this. She doesn't know she's mixing chemicals. Those chemicals are becoming the formulations. These formulations are becoming APIs, and they are becoming generic drugs. They are getting out of their manufacturing unit, curing people not only in Chennai, but the entire country, going out of the country, notwithstanding the race, region, and religion of humanity, cured a sea of humanity. And she thinks that she's just mixing chemicals. She doesn't know that she's a part of this healing system. Tell your people to revisit their roles. I have spoken to some teachers. When I ask them, what do you do? They say, I'm just a teacher. Now, do they know what they're actually doing? They are shaping minds as teachers. They're sculpting leaders of future. Tomorrow, if India becomes a Vishwaguru, they'd be a part of this magnificent process. And little do they know their role. Ask people to revisit their role. And I'd like to conclude by saying there's one aspect that you need to revisit. That is, in every speech, in every conversation, internationally, I hear people saying that India is an emerging country. Please revisit that assumption. India is not an emerging country. India is a re-emerging country. We have emerged long back. Centuries ago, we had the world's second largest trade in the world before the Muslims invaded us and before the British subjugated us. So let all your people know that we are a re-emerging nation. And India is a part of 21st century's Asia century. The 19th century was the century of Europe. 20th century was the century of Americas. And 21st century is the century of Asia, where India is going to navigate Asia into leadership. And India will be a Vishwaguru. And people like you who are awakening hearts and shaping minds will play a decisive role in India's leapfrogging into a Vishwaguru role. My best wishes and blessings. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Karunaji, for sharing the core message to be creative, to have an attitude of alternate thinking, to repurpose ourselves, to revisit, to have an end goal, to know what your end goal is. Yes, India is an emerging nation, and that's really thought-provoking, ma'am. You're really a thought leader. Kudos, ma'am. And one thing I can say after listening to each of you is, wow,